Hello, my sunflowers. How are you? Well, we hope everything with you is copacetic. We hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful month. Also, we'd like for you to continue to support us. You know, we're trying to reach that 2,000. Please help us. We're almost there. And with your help, we can get there like we would like to have it by the first of the year. Yes. That's what we would like to have, right? Yes. Baby Crone, is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes, I would just love to say that as this end of the year is wrapping up, we would just like to wish you guys a happy winter solstice.
Do you want to do it?
Yes,
Let's do it. We wish you a happy winter solstice. We wish you a happy winter solstice. We wish you a happy winter solstice and a whole brand new year. We wish you that. Thank you for supporting us. Mwah. Peace and season's greetings.
Yes.
Sunflowers.
Well, hello there, sunflowers. And how are you guys on the New Year's? Yes. And speaking of the New Year's, it is January 1st, 2025. And guess who I'm reading on? Somebody who was born on this exact date. Ice Spice. Born January 1st of 2000. So she is having a birthday. She is 25 years old. And what else about Ice Spice? Apparently she has dropped a new freestyle, a new beat, a new rap, as you will say, on the radio show, on the radio. I hope I said that right. So on there, she was rapping to, it was actually, I'll say Ice Spice is proving a little bit in her rapping. You know, beforehand she was a mumble rapper. Now we got the accent, and there's still booty twerking, that's for sure. That's gonna be her trademark. But I'm honestly here to, let me start being sarcastic. I'm honestly here to do a reading on Ice Spice, for real. Let's figure out what is going on with Ice Spice. Is her fame declining? She did a song with Travis Scott called Okay. I'm not really sure. She's kind of been going downhill. I don't know why. She had all these great collaborations with the people in the industry, but people wasn't feeling her though, because they did think she was a plant. I don't know. So let's find out. I'm reading new cards. These new cards are called the Wild Unknown Tarot. And what is these cards? This is the exact same cards that Mama Crone reads, which is the Rider Smith deck, but it just has a nice flair of being animal cards. And because Baby Crone is much into nature, please, actually, if you haven't watched before, if you are new to this channel, Baby Crone did once do before a video of her making berries off of fruit that I literally picked off of our property, handmade jam. So please do check that out. It was actually very fun. I was in the kitchen, had a whole conversation with you guys. Please. Okay. Anyway, yeah, because of that, Mama Crone suggested that this deck would be very interesting, or a very good deck for me to use, because I'm so into nature that why would I not enjoy a good animal deck? And because of that, you guys like the Rider Smith deck, and I do read with Mama Crone when she reads from those cards, so it's just an animal flair. I still got my Letterman deck over here if I need them, just in case. However, like she said, to get better practice with the deck, just use it for readings. So with that being said, I may read that book if I have to, but I did use these cards in a previous reading and I was on fire. So I don't think I'm gonna need the book, honestly. Baby Crone is in training though. Remember, the word is baby. So with that being said, I'm not gonna have a representative card like a female to lay out. So because of that, I'm just going to shuffle the cards, and the first card that pops out is going to be the card that represents Ice Spice. I will still use the same format that I've been using. So let's see. What's going on with Ice Spice career? What's going on with it? Let's just get those back in there. Okay. What's going on with Ice Spice's career? Is she flopping? Is she reviving? Is she thriving? Is she trendy? Is she wiggly? Is she bendy? Oh, also the fact that she's also rumored to be taking Ozempic. And also, when did she lose her curly hair aesthetic? Now she got long hair just like everybody else in the industry. She kind of lost her iconic image. The only thing she stuck with was the orange, which turns to find out really isn't her real hair color. So she's... Anyway, let's see. How is Ice Spice? Okay. That is enough shuffling. Let's see. In the first card to represent Ice Spice. Oh. The Nine of Cups. I'm sorry. It's Roman numerals. Like I said, baby Crone in training here. So the card to represent Ice Spice is the Nine of Cups, which is actually very interesting. And we see the moon, crescent moon at that. Waxing crescent moon at that, which means that it's getting smaller. Sorry, a waning crescent moon, which means that it's getting smaller and it's getting ready to go dark. Like it's basically, what does that mean? When the moon is fully bright, it's illuminating everything and it's giving attention to things. But when it's waning, the energy is starting to die out. It's starting to go through a transition. It's starting to it's starting to get ready to rebirth itself. And that's very fitting for the Nine of Cups. So emotionally, about her career, Ice Spice could feel like she's trying to do something to revive it. She sees that it's dwindling and she's trying to figure out what could she do exactly to keep it flourishing and keep it going. So let's pick out what's going on above her head. Literally, the Magician. Love that. The Magician popped up, which basically means she is thinking, she is trying to create. The Magician, wow, actually, ironically, because this is in the mental position, she is mentally being creative. She's mentally trying to think of things. Has she physically manifested that yet? No. That's why she's currently in that 9 process, which is almost at the very end, but not quite at the end. So once she's at the end, that's where it basically will manifest itself. But it's almost in that, let's say, that birthing pain stage that she's getting ready to go through. So let's see what's at the bottom of her. Whew, yikes, my, the Chariot, which symbolizes the horse. And the question I'm going, oh wow, this is actually a very good question. So this is going to be the sun up at the very top, because right on the Chariot's head is the moon sign, and the Chariot usually represents the duality and the Sphinx. But because we don't have that, another wise creature besides the Sphinx is a horse, and horses are used for chariots as well. But this basically symbolizes trying to move on from the past. Like I said, she knows that her career and what she had in the past, and that maybe she knew her career wasn't long. Well, actually, when you blast off like she did, you would really think that you would have some longevity because you've gained a cult following at that. And she was getting all these collaborations, and she was hanging out with all these people, getting notoriety. However, I think she was performing at a concert, was that New Year's Eve. And I think she was late, and fans were not feeling it. They definitely had complaints for sure. And they definitely said that she was entitled. So and also said that because she was late, everything else had to be rushed. So because of that, and fans had to pay a pretty hefty fee, and it's the New Year's after all. So because of that, that's that's also not a very great way to start the new year's, honestly, Ice Spice. But you know what, you can't help the fact that you're late. Maybe it was a flight delay, maybe it was very much traffic. Hey, after all, it's New Year's Eve. I get it, it's New Year's Eve. Get there early because you know it's going to be hectic, crazy traffic out there. That's also another possibility. But these celebrities are on schedules and they can't just hip hop dip leave early when they want to. So because of that, and sometimes things run over too. So it's not her fault, but I understand how the audience feels about it. And because of that, that's just another tick, another thing that goes against her already, and she's trying to revive her career. But let's see what's in the past of her. Oh, interesting. The 10 of Cups. I see we're reverting backwards. I see as we're going forward, which is very interesting. So it's in that retrograde period, kind of being receptive and being reflective and trying to really figure out where was that momentum from the past? Where did that momentum go? Where did the love for Ice Spice go from the past to now, for her to feel this way of feeling that her career is almost at the very end and that she's got to do something to revive it, get the spark, get the love back out there for her. But let's see what's going on in the future and see how that's going to pan out for her. Okay. All's not lost for Ice Spice. We see the the 8 of Pentacles, which as you see here is a spider. And this spider represents working towards a craft. Now, this spider could also symbolize being weaved in a trap that you've realized. Maybe this trap could just be the Illuminati. You know, it could just be that she got herself trapped in, thinking that she got it all together like that. That could be exactly it. Or this could just be the fact that maybe that hard work, that hard energy, like I said, it's in the thought right now. We have to see in the future if she's going to be able to manifest that and make it tangible. And we do see that with this 8 of Pentacles. But let's find out what the rest of the cards have to say, so that way I can look back in her past and then look into her future. Oh, very interesting cards indeed. I like this. So what I see for the past with Ice Spice, like I said, she was thriving. There was energy. She was radiating all the light, as you see. All cups are filling each other. Everything is getting full. Everything is being shared evenly. There is harmony. There is peace. There is balance. That's what the 10 of Pentacles represented for her. The 10 of Cups represented for her career. It was basically soaring. It was getting the attention. It was getting all the love. It was getting all the fanfare. It was getting all the glitz, the glam. It was getting all of that. And what do we see? We saw something growing. I'm not quite sure what we saw growing because, like I said, she is a plant. She was a plant after all. And because of that, maybe that's why she had the potential to grow like she did in the plant. That's why she grew like she did in the industry, because she was planted in there from some higher ups. And those higher ups were the Father of Swords, which symbolizes as we see the owl right here. And the owl, if you think about Drake and Ice Spice, they have a little thing with Drake, right? But we see this owl here, which basically symbolizes the fact that the owl represents the wise old person that gives you advice and helps you. And this is at the very bottom. And because this is at the very bottom of what this plant was, Ice Spice is the plant. This was her in the past. And this is what we saw. This is who Ice Spice was in the past. Radiating energy, just gleaming, just growing, just thriving, just getting it all, just sucking up the nutrients of the water and becoming a thriving, healthy plant. But all underneath that, gilded, meaning all that looks good isn't good, the fool's gold. We see what was right underneath this plant this entire time. The father of swords, the wise old owl that was directing our attention with this sword, directing our attention to Ice Spice, to this plant. Where did the father of swords go? That's a very good question, because the wise old owl is generating and perpetuating this energy with this sword mentally. They got Ice Spice in our brains mentally. Was it the frequency of Ice Spice? Was it the fashion of Ice Spice? Was she just hitting a niche at that time? Like, what was it that made Ice Spice grow? But whatever that was due to the wise old owl that planted her for the exact audience that would literally eat her up. So because of that, in a good way, and because of that, we see now, as it was like, like I said, we went from the 10 of cups in the past. Moving forward, we should be getting bigger, but instead we got smaller and reverted to the 9 of cups. So basically, this Chariot card symbolized the fact that in the past, she had the backing of the wise old owl. Where did the wise old owl go? Did it fly the coop? I'm not quite sure. But we have another majestic animal. Maybe Ice Spice was the one that flew the coop. Who knows? But whatever it is, she, like they said, the industry can only get you started. They planted her, and like a plant, it's her choice to grow and figure out what she's going to do with her career. They're going to take the gas off the pedal, and she's going to have to put the pedal to the metal herself. So that's where the Magician card comes in, and that's where she's feeling now. She's in that reflective, in that retrospective place, as she's starting to become further away from the image of who she was planted to be. Now she's got to become Ice Spice. Who is Ice Spice? Who is she? What does she represent? Who is she behind the mask of the plant? Who is... We didn't know. Like I said, she came out of nowhere. Really, overnight sensation, basically. So because of that, the audience had to get acclimated to Ice Spice. And by her doing interviews, and by her being on award shows, and by seeing who she clicked herself with, we were able to get a feel and a vibe for Ice Spice. And even sometimes just her attitude too, But because of that, we were able, as an audience, to get a feel for Ice Spice. And that's when they started to become a disconnect between Ice Spice, the image, the rapper, and Ice Spice, the person, whoever her real name is and whatever her background is. And because of that, she's trying to mend it together, craft it together, because this is what she wanted. She definitely did say that. She wanted to become a rapper, that she was doing it that's haphazardly a little bit, just kind of wanted to, try a little song, and then got big. Okay. So that's the backstory of Ice Spice. And because of that, she, like I said, she got to put the pedal to the metal now. And she's going to work, and she's going to put forth the energy to her career, because she does not want this to die. But let's look, before we look down at the bottom, because that represents the outcome. What we have above is, the motherly snake. We have the wands. And I just recently learned that snakes represent wands, represent fire. And usually snakes represent water, which is that serpent energy, that water, which first off is kind of questionable. How are serpents even how are reptiles even water? But I get it. If you think about eels, they are snake-like-ish, and they are in the water. So in that sense, I could see how a serpent is water-like. But however, to flip it on this aspect, because water and fire are such polar opposites of each other, to have the snake symbolize fire, that represents a drive, that represents a passion. And in this picture, this snake isn't defensive. It's actually in mother mode, basically. It has the eggs, 3 eggs at that, the Holy Trinity. Very fitting. These 3 eggs represents the delicacy, the magic that she's putting into her career, and she's nurturing it. She's curling around it. She's intertwining it. She's feeling it. And because of that, what how whatever's going to blossom from these eggs, as we see at the very bottom of the outcome, we see the world. Whatever is to come from those eggs that blossoms all depends on what the work that Ice Spice has put into her career, how she chooses to manifest it, and what she chooses, and maybe even what kind of magical rituals and performances she might have to do to get there. Maybe even do some sacrifices, who knows. But we'll see how it goes for Ice Spice. However, I'm going to pick a card at the bottom to see what's going to be the outcome card. Okay, we see the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune symbolizes for Ice Spice in her career is basically that spin the wheel. Will she get fortunate? Will it land? That's a very good question. What will it land on? Let's shuffle these cards and find out what the Wheel of Fortune could land on for Ice Spice's career and her future. Because it looks like a 50-50, a tossing of a coin, that her career could go either way. And it's all based on her, really. It really is all just based off of her and what she puts into it. Is she able to sell herself? And will she sell herself differently? Is she going to change the image? Is she going to revamp Ice Spice? Like, what is she going to do with Ice Spice? She's going to continue doing what the industry told her to do. Is she going to keep that facade up? Or is she going to try to pull a Megan Thee Stallion and come out like a snake and do something different? You know, once you're into the industry and they pick you, you're basically cornered into that and pigeonholed into it. You can't get out of that. So for that, let's just pick a card to symbolize another outcome for Ice Spice in her career. The Ace of Cups. Okay, I just need one more card for this because that Ace of Cups is very questionable. So let's see what the last card symbolizes. Okay. And the Three of Cups. Well, we see birds talking on the sunset, basically. Or it could be the sunrise, since we're talking about the 3, and because the 3 is at the very beginning, it's going to be the horizon and growing. So, okay, what I see for the future for Ice Spice and how her career is going to turn out for her. Do I see that she's going to be able to regain the popularity that she once had? No, I don't see that. But I do see that she isn't going to completely die off either. She is going to keep a somewhat stable fan base that follows her. And because of that, that's where we see this sunrise coming up. That symbolizes the fact that, yes, sunrises symbolizes new horizons. It represents hope. And because it's the 3 here, the 3 symbolizes the coming together. And like I said earlier, talking about whatever these 3 eggs hatch would symbolize the future of her career. Well, we have 3 birds here asking how the future of her career is going to be when we roll this Wheel of Fortune to see how's it going to land for her. So we definitely do see that while those eggs do hatch, we still do see infancy of her gain. Maybe she can regain some of it as she continues to grow and she gets more established in her own identity and comfortable with Ice Spice, instead of being whoever this puppet of Ice Spice she was intended to be. Once she gets past that, and once she gets comfortable and accumulated, and maybe we really get to see her. Remember, there was also a time where she was racially, and people still debate about her racial ambiguity. So because of that, there's a lot of things that people question about. Is she for or against the culture? Is she using, or is this just her culture? and besides the Bronx, the Queens, New York, J-Lo made y'all look bad reputatively. So also Ice Spice's reputation is kind of questionable too, coming from New York, honestly. However, that's just my opinion. I'm not sure if you guys feel the same way about that. However, what we do see is that this Wheel of Fortune for her future of her career, we see that it's going to be definitely a new beginning. And we reverted all the way back to the new beginning. So Ice Spice is definitely going to transform. We started at the 10. We started fully illuminated, fully glowing. Right now, she took a step back going into that reflective stage. And in the future, and as time goes on, we see it revert all the way back to the 1, all the way back to the beginning. We started at the end, started from the end, and now we're here. Yes. Now the whole team here. So that's basically, okay, Drake, what are you doing in this reading? So because of that, that's how I see Ice Spice's career. And because this is a new year and it is 2025, and astrologically it is going to be a energetically gifting year for everybody, and anything is up for anybody's grabs if you just choose to take advantage of it. And we do see Ice Spice will take advantage of it. After all, she is someone in those echelons. So because of that, we see that the future for Ice Spice is looking pretty hopeful. I'm not going to lie, honestly. Ice Spice is not a dead spice. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Ice Spice. Happy birthday, Ice Spice. Congratulations, you are 25, almost 27, getting ready to have your Saturn return in 2 to 4 years. So because of that, I could honestly relate to when you get to 25, it really does kind of start clicking that you got to start getting a bit more serious. So I'm not going to lie about that. I could honestly see where she's coming from at the age of 25. So with that being said, what a way to start a new year, because she's also born at the very first of the year and it was a new moon this year. How funny enough, I was talking about this represents Ice Spice, and on her birthday, literally the moon was dark. And I said this moon symbolizes the moon going dark, and that's how she's feeling right now. So all that to be said is that, yeah, it is definitely working in Ice Spice's favor. Does she have some backing of that Illuminati? I'm not sure, because somehow Drake really got himself encoded in this reading. And I'm not sure if it's just because of the owl or if Drake has some doing behind scenes that we don't see. But whatever it is, because you don't know who's, like, what? The ringleaders, the puppeteers, the handlers of this community, of the industry. There's so many of them. And we know Drake likes them a bit young. I'm not saying that Ice Spice was young, but I'm just saying the fact that he doesn't like them to be in his age group. Let's say that. So because of that, we could have, and especially when you're up and coming and new in the industry, of course, Drake's just going to try to holla at that. But, I don't know why Drake is in here. Get out of here, Drake. I was just talking about some secret society. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Ice Spice. Please leave your comments down below. Please tell me, how did you enjoy this reading on Ice Spice, and how did you enjoy these cards? Did you enjoy them? Baby Crone was on a roll again, a second roll with these cards. Baby Crone is feeling them. I hope you guys felt them too. And hopefully you guys can resonate, connect with my cards a little bit, or my readings a little bit more too, by me using these. And with that being said, please enjoy this reading. And please subscribe for the New Year's. We would really like to get to that 2,000. Help us get to the 2,000, please. It would really mean a lot to this channel. We would really appreciate it. Loves and thanks. XOXO. So with that being said, I hope you sunflowers enjoyed this reading, and I hope you guys have a beautiful and great New Year's. And astrologically, it's just going to be a great year for all of us, whatever that may be. And just remember, anything that bad that comes your way, there is something that's positive coming out of it, because there is a lesson there for you to learn through it, even if that is just to be resilient and come out of it Like they say, what kills you doesn't make you stronger. That's very extreme, but that's just one way to put it about how no matter what circumstance comes your way, everything is really for your good. That wheel of fortune, it just depends on how you want to take that spin and what you want to do with it. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and please, if it resonated with you and you're feeling about and you feel this way about anything in your life, whether that be a career, academically, relationship, friendship, partnership, co-edship, co-parenting, whatever it is, volunteering, trying to find your way in life, new parenting, if this resonates with you, it's the New Year's. And Ice Spice is just that beacon of light for us to try to relate to and connect to as her being a celebrity. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. And I'm sorry, the microphone got cut off for some reason. So hopefully with that, I will see you guys, sunflowers, in the next one. Sunflowers. Sunflowers.